Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to All Suck At Starcraft. My name is Killjoy, and we're back looking at another replay of Starcraft. So, top corner, myself versus Mr. Mark Kitchen in the opposite corner and at the bottom. Now this is a fun game, I really enjoyed playing this, so what you're going to see is this is a fairly big map, whereas we... And it's quite a weird map, because if you look at our bases, they're kind of enclosed. They're down a ramp and then not a lot of room to build, and then you sort of have this random lesbian guys are there, little expansion. So a bit of a weird one, all this stuff in the middle. It's a 4-player map, I believe. Same with me. And each base also has a pathway to expand without being attacked by the land, I believe. So if I wanted to attack Mark's expansion here, I would have to go along this bit of down here and up there. So, and for me it's along there and down there. Anyway, it's a fun little game. You're going to see two very different builds, and you're also going to see some... there are points in this game where it could have gone very differently, but I was very... you'll see I was very lucky myself, and Mark did really well. He responded with some good unit changes and stuff, and that's what we're going to see throughout this. So let's just shut that map off a minute. It's a bit easier to see what's going on. Very standard. Also that gets in the way, so I'm just going to turn it off a sec. Very standard sort of openings from both of us. Going for the barracks first kind of thing, then Mark going for a refinery, and going for a supply depot, and you're going to see big changes straight away. So we just speed this up a little bit. Just going to mine. Get like one marine out, I think, or 2 marines. Just finishing my barracks up before I'm like, got a marine out, off he goes. I think another marine pops out. See what Mark's doing. There you go, here comes his first marine popping out of there. You can see that I'm trying to find him on the map, basically. That's why I'm sort of having a little run around. It's a very strange map. I got very confused when I ran over here. I was like, well, he's obviously not there then. There we go, you can now see that there are now 2 marines out, one going down to the south, and the other one going over to the right here. I mean, they're both technically going south, but they're in the north and west. North? East and west. And you'll see that during this time, Mark is, well, I assume, building something, a second barracks, whereas I haven't gone at this point into an academy, but we'll see that I don't really use it throughout this game, and that will come clear why in a minute. Anyway, this guy's coming down here. Still trying to find him. I think he stays there and pretty much stopped. This guy, on the other hand, happens to stumble right into his base, and I'm like, okay, I know where he is now. There's a supply depot. He's got 3 marines out. Building a town academy, apparently. Yep, getting an academy. Second barracks. And he's dead. And then I know this guy, I'm like, okay, right, I need to use you for something else. Bang! Factory going down. Normally I would go with double barracks, normally get a big old army, but I'm like, okay, this map's fairly big. So instead I'm deciding to go for later game tech. Getting a fair amount of dudes, still finishing off that academy. Arcane finished his off. Now I've got the double barracks, now building, I believe, a factory? No, an engineering bay. Putting down a bunker there, defensive. This, while this is quite good, also this is up a ramp. If I had an army here, I'd be able to shoot, but he wouldn't be able to see me, I think. I mean, I'd be able to shoot the 1 unit, but generally speaking, you can't shoot up a ramp. But still, this guy's still around like a lemon, but he does eventually come over here and scout for me. Basically, at the moment, in my base, I have like 1 dude. We can see that the Terran machine shop's going down. Bang, starport. So you can see already a big change in our builds. Me stacking a lot of money. Oops. Wow, that was silly, wasn't it? Turn that back on. Stacking a lot of money. Trying to make sure that I've got enough to build stuff. I don't know why I had so much money at this point. Probably because I wasn't building anything out of these. But you'll see that as you pop out a few units, Mark on the other hand spending fairly wisely. There we go, getting siege. Which I never use. And you'll see that fairly soon I will go off and expand. This guy now running over to Mark's base, who at this point has now got a factory underway. He's got dudes in there, he's got dudes in there, a couple there. Doing alright, doing alright. I don't know whether he's getting +1. I'm getting increased range. because I should do. Whacking down a control tower onto my starport. See if anything else has popped out now. Still only defending with that one marine. This guy here, I know that I've been down here. I know where his base is. This guy's sole purpose is just to alert me when he's going to attack. You can see that Mark's getting the upgraded weapon there. I've got the range. Almost got siege. Getting a comsat station, which I already have. I think I use it quite a lot in this game. But we're not seeing a lot of units come out, and you'll see that my strategy was basically double starport, going for some race builds. There we see here. I believe that was Mark that just did that. Let's find out. Yeah, I was thinking of sort of energy on mine, yeah. But we still see a fair good amount of marines. And I'm pretty sure I'm still pumping out the marines. I'm going for the machine shop there, get the tank upgrades, more than likely tanks. But this army versus what I've got is quite scary. If he'd run that over to my base, that would have sucked, because I literally have like what, 2 marines at a time. I've now got a Wraith popping out. There's a Wraith. Whee! It's popped out now, so going for an expansion. This is massively helpful having this expand here. There's an extra gas there, fair amount of minerals. I'm happy. It's a cool one because you have to go up here around like that to get to it. So it's kind of quite a safe expansion unless they drop the fire air. Still not really building much here. Still hasn't pushed out yet, but we do see that Mark has a healthy amount of marines. Getting now medics, got a tank out. Also now starting the tank research. I'm going for cloak, as you can see up there. Just popping out Wraith after Wraith after Wraith, and like Mark, like I assumed he was thinking, you know, he must know at this point that where did he scan? He must know at this point that well, I haven't attacked him in a while. I must be doing something, and I think we see that when he pushes out. Got a couple of medics, sets up a tank down there, still pumping out a few marines, and you'll see that during this period I've now got a couple of Wraiths. That's what I'm building the entire time. Almost getting cloak. It's almost done. This guy's going off to build stuff. And when I see this army, this is when I start to build stuff. You'll see at the top here, getting the double Wraiths. Marine comes out, and I believe a vulture. Now, let's just pause this a minute. If you look at what Mark's got there, 12 units, 2 medics, rest of the marines. It's probably got the upgrade for range, and I have 1 dude. Now, we'll see that, you know, I've got a couple of Wraiths, but I don't quite have cloak. I've got my expand, everything's good, and we know that Mark's got this. So let's see what happens here, because this is a pivotal point here that can completely have changed what happened in this match. Because if he attacked me straight up now, if I didn't have cloak, which I do now have, I'd have been stuffed. So you can now see that I'm building a vulture. He's getting the upgrade. He's got the +1 upgrade. He's now getting the infantry upgrade. Still building marines. And you'll see fairly soon that I start pumping out the spider mine upgrade, because I need something to defend with. So you see this army is quite happily sat here. There you go, spider mine coming out. Now Mark also going for the vehicle weapons. Let's just keep an eye on this, because this is very important. While he's that, he's just getting... He's set a tank up. He's still got the tank there, but no siege yet? Or has he got that? I think he must have that by now. Here they go. Running up towards the map. The imminent attack coming. Killing off an innocent little dude. And then... Suddenly... They decide that, you know what? Let's go down here instead. Let's just look how pivotal that is, because if he had continued into my base right now, I have 1 marine, 1 vulture, and wherever my... There they are, Wraiths. I've got 3 Wraiths, 2 vultures, sorry, 4 Wraiths, can't count. These luckily have cloak, so I could probably kill off quite a few dudes before he scans me. With that many marines and a couple medics, that army's pretty scary right now. But he decides to go down this part of the map. Otherwise, this game would have been hugely different. And you're going to see this charge that he will have in a minute and what happens. So I'm obviously getting vulture mines. I want to mine this entire area so that when he runs through there, it kills him. I do believe I'm getting... There's another vulture. Vulture? It's not a vulture, it's a Wraith. I do believe that at some point I will drop down an armory and start getting those upgrades. You can see that I'm getting plus 50 Wraith energy, because I want that extra energy. I want to last longer. There we go, now putting down the spider mines. Hoping that, for all God, that these things are going to actually do some serious damage when the army walks through there. Vultures I actually really like. They're very weak. They can two-shot a marine, I believe. Generally speaking, they will. They do 20 damage each unless they've got armor upgrades. More Wraiths popping out for me. Quite a big army now. See a siege tank, couple of marines. We've got a weapon upgrade. Putting down here a turret. I think he knows at this point that either he's going to get attacked via air or he's going to need detection for something. His armies stop here. Look at this. Now, scans up there. I'm quite lucky that these guys are cloaked, because if they weren't cloaked, I would have got shot, and I think he would have known where I was and also where I was going to attack. But like, if we click on my vision, I didn't even notice this. I was too busy doing other stuff. I didn't look at the map, which is my own fault. I'm kind of glad. I mean, I could have killed that army because he doesn't have a huge amount back in base. Let's turn it back on a minute. It's got a few dudes. Tank, not worried about that. They can't shoot up. But there's a sizable chunk of dudes out on the map, which I could have killed unless he scanned me. And at this point, I feel much safer with my spider mines all over the map and so forth to try and protect me. But I'm not really building a lot out of these. I'm just constantly building the Wraiths. And obviously working on this expand, trying to get a lot of gas and things. So let's see what happens. Now, I'm pretty sure I scanned this area. Oh, maybe not. Still scanning, mark there and various places. And I had a field day on his SCVs, and as you can see, there's no thing there. Hello, SCVs. Goodbye, SCVs. You can see I'm building the armory now as well. And, well, he's noticed that I've got some Wraiths in his base. And these are upgraded. But, that's a lot of dudes you just lost. Got 1 kill, 2, 0, 1, 1. So what's 5 or 6? 6 or 7 there. That was a pretty successful attack, all things considered. Now, let's just bear in mind that I don't know if Mark knows where I am at this point. Oh, he scanned something. Oh, he would have seen this. That's obviously the telltale sign. He now knows where I am. His army is now coming up towards my base. So that's not good. But I'm feeling alright about it. I'm feeling like I've got a few more dudes out. I'm feeling alright. During this period, I'm still trying to just pop off these guys. Luckily, they move. Not building SCVs quite as quick as he probably should be, but, you know, quick enough. Oh, I lost the Wraith. Just going to pop off some more good dudes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, tank. Just being a general nuisance at this point. We see that his army's there, dealing with these Wraiths, going back just to kill off some of these SCVs, or at least attempt to kill off these SCVs. The output on them isn't particularly great on the Wraiths, so they do fire quite slowly. You need a fair number of them to be able to deal with them. Just pulling them back, realising that I'm going to need them fairly soon. Obviously not knowing about this army, obviously I know it's out on the map now, but at the time I didn't know where they were. Ah, didn't realise I lost one there. That's a bit unfortunate. So here they come. Now, interesting moment here. I didn't expect any of these guys to live, and you're going to see just how many of these guys I actually kill with the spider mines, and it's a frustrating amount. But quickly before that, just going back, and I do decide to pop off his medics eventually, because I'm trying to kill them and it's just not happening, so I'm just like, bye bye medics, making my life really hard. Bringing more dudes along, marines, and also finally building some. Can't click on the damn thing. There we go, Terran missile turrets. But doing a fair good job there. I mean, still popping out tanks which can't shoot air, but you know, most of his armies, like his base, is actually quite undefended, but still popping off a lot of SCVs. During which time now I'm getting the upgrade there for ship weapons. I'm building a couple of Goliaths, which come in hugely handy, and now we get to see this attack happen while these guys are regenerating some energy. Come on, little guys, time to go into the base. keep an eye on that for a minute. So there's one Goliath that's popped out. Fairly good against small armies, but not building SCVs fast enough. Just going to speed up quickly here. Right. So at this period of time, you can see just weapon upgrades, more dudes, more tanks. Now these should be doing some serious damage, but turns out, you know what, they're not that effective. But I do kill a medic, so that was always nice. But I was very disappointed in terms of those Spider-Mans not really killing his army. That one medic doing wonders. This guy gets murdered very quickly. Another little dude's coming along. I realise at this point I need some backup at home. Otherwise I'm going to lose some stuff. Now, big mistake from Mark. I like what he was trying to do. Didn't have quite enough firepower. He also didn't have stim, so he couldn't be as effective. But bear in mind, I got +1 on both attack and defense. What I would do in his situation would have been go straight for the SCVs, because I don't pull them quite that quickly. But what's he do? Attacks my supply depot, which he does destroy. But by the time the Wraiths have now turned up, now they're invisible as well, so you can't see them. Let's just... Obviously I can't fire quick enough to kill them, but I start popping off these Marines fairly quickly. He's not even attacking my Wraiths. Now he's going for the SCVs. And he kills a few of them. But I've pulled most of them out of the way at this point. So really, that wasn't overly effective. And it's a shame because I think if he had attacked this line much quicker, yes, I might still have killed the army, but I don't think he would have been have wasted that attack as much as I feel like he did. But there we go. I cleared up his attack. He knows where my base is. He's now popping out Goliaths, which is a fantastic idea on his part, because these guys, great at defending, can't shoot air, so you need some Goliaths. Still getting the Marines, getting the medics. Now has a missile turret in his base. Brilliant. So we're seeing a really good shift in play from him to build those, because that's a unit that's actually really, really good against them. You see my base down here. This is why I wasn't too worried about the SCVs that I lost. I'm still building this. Got a fair amount of guys going gas. And we'll see that more Wraiths are going to pop out. And these guys are like, right, well, better go back and harass. Now we're almost with +1. Now getting vehicle armor, which is a good shout. They get +1 in a sec. Scanning just to see what's down here. These guys doing a fair amount of damage. There you go, he's upgraded. He's now got 20+4, so 24 damage a shot. These guys now doing 9 damage, which is pretty nice, but I know that he's got these guys here, so I have to be very careful where I go. But I'm straight into the mineral line, trying to pop as many SCVs to kill, and straight out again. That is my plan. That's what I want to do. I want to get rid of most of them. I don't know why these guys are attacking here, that's my own fault. I don't really want to attack the supply depot. Realise there's a Goliath, time to leave. Completely decimated his line there. We can see that I'm now shooting a tank. This guy takes me down. I don't want anything to do with these guys. Goliaths are very, very good at taking out air. Actually, fairly good unit all round. So I pull back. Now you're going to see that my ship plane is almost done. And basically at this point, just popping out a few more Wraiths. Not really doing anything else. These guys, my own fault. I don't know whether when I look back, probably now to move them. This is really bad. They should be back on the mining. You can see I've got way too much money at this point. I should have been spending building more stuff. But instead I was focused too much on these guys. Yeah, getting quite a few kills between them. So now we see that he's putting way more missile turrets down to deal with the fact that I have so much air. Doesn't want to deal with that. Now building a Goliath of my own, because Goliaths are great. Got a couple of SCVs repairing there. The rest of them back at the base now. Goliath pops out. There he goes. Can't click on him. There we go. Do his little waddle dance. Not building much at the moment, which is kind of bad. Just that Goliath. Mark going for the medics and Marines still. I like the fact that he's just pumping out Marines this entire game. Really good. Doesn't have much here in the way of SCVs. This guy isn't even mining. I scanned to find out what's there. I mean, look, this army he's got is pretty good. I think he's using that to repair the Goliath. He should be pumping out more Goliaths. I think that was maybe one thing he could do better, is just make a lot more of them. But even still, he did a good job in terms of just getting stuff to answer the fact that I have a lot of Wraiths. I'm just going to pop off a few units. There's an SCV there. Trying to take down this, or at least watch it burn to death, which I think it does. Does it burn to death? Yeah. Now to go and pop off this Goliath because he took some serious damage. And now you can see that I'm going to expand up here as well, but that's not really a factor in the game. A little bit of an army. Building quite a few Goliaths, I think was my plan, and they don't do a huge amount, but they do come into their own. Science facility, showing that I do want to tech up a bit further. Killing off most of that army there. This guy plays a good role later on. Doesn't have an armor. Oh, yes, of course he does. He does have an armory, but not tending to go for the more upgrades for these guys. I think if he'd gone for the next attack upgrades, that would have hugely benefited him, both for the vehicles and for like the Goliaths and for the Marines. They're now pushing out with his little army across the map, which happens to run into my 4 Goliaths that have no upgrades. So, but they do have a fairly good time dealing with Marines and other things like that by, let's see, kill as well. I mean, these are like better Marines in a lot of ways. 125 health versus 40. So I do manage to kill these guys and then off to chase the medics down. I'm like, hey medics, I should probably kill those things. Send a couple wraiths just to help out. In fact, I bring all the wraiths, because you know what? I need all of them. During this period, yeah, still just mining and upgrading, but science facility down. Battle cruisers perhaps on the way. That's certainly what I wanted anyway. Still building a few Goliaths. Why is it dark? And still has a fairly decent army for defense, but where's the SCVs? Biggest story of this, I killed off most of his SCVs. He was hugely economical behind me, that's why I expanded a third time. I just run in here and wreck the rest of his army. As you're going to see. Don't know why I was playing Cowardly. I could have easily killed a lot more there, but he does have a high DPS. Wraith's not the toughest things. There's some shooting there. And then the siege tank basically lays waste to the rest of my dudes. Which kind of sucked. My own fault. But look, kind of the beginning and the end there. Not building any SCVs, or at least taking a look. Look at that, no SCVs there. Whoops, obviously slows him down, so he can't build turrets or he can't build units to deal with it. You know, that's why I decided to pop out a couple of battle cruisers at this point. You can see how much money and gas I have. Look how ridiculous that is. My APM, obviously a bit higher than Mark's, but regardless, I don't really include that into this because I think Mark still had a chance of winning this game. But now putting down a lot of turrets and tanks and stuff. Didn't seem to understand that tanks weren't going to help. They did in that engagement, but tanks don't shoot up. That is also a lot of wraiths. On the verge of getting plus 2. And we're going to see, I don't know if I actually get, I must have got Yamato cannon at some point. Or Yamato cannon, however you pronounce it. Anyway, the battle cruiser is popping out fairly soon. Don't know why he's shooting that. Just going to speed this up a little bit because we don't see a huge amount of action for a while. Shooting his own stuff. Oops, see this? I realise I'm like, oh crap, I'm being attacked. But let's go and kill this Goliath because you know what? Let's kill your entire army. That's what we should do. Let's kill your army off, and that's exactly what I do. And then I fly out, kill off a few units. Realise he's not scanning me, so I'm going to shoot off both more of them. And at this point, I got +2/+2, and Yamato cannon's almost done. Yeah, 9 damage a shot. They don't fire overly slow, not too quick either, but they do burst, like the things they burst lasers. Bit of burst damage there. Pick off Goliaths, pick off the Marines. Fairly happy with that engagement. Got a couple more Goliaths though. It's doing an alright job. Now we're going to see that these guys are on the way down. They are hefty, they do a lot of damage. They have 5 armor currently. Looking to get that more of that armor. We've got a base actually established now, so you can see that I am building quite a lot. So I'm quite happy there. Getting a lot of income to be able to build more stuff. Getting another couple of battle cruisers to come in. These guys just flying around, decloaking them so that the energy can refuel. Going for another turret. I like his thinking. This is a decent army. I think what Mark might have, should probably have done during this game was maybe just try to attack me more. If you look at what I actually have in defense, not a lot, and nothing with upgrades either. These guys are off to mine somewhere else. But yeah, not really building a lot. Which means I was very aggressive, which meant he played more defensively, but I think if he'd actually just taken some of that army and just attacked, it would have been alright. These guys coming in from the side, I'm like, okay, get rid of the UI a little bit there. I'm like, okay, it's time to blow up your stuff. Because, you know what, I can. This turret's not doing a huge amount of job, but the Yamato cannon does come online fairly shortly, and you'll get to see me blow up some turrets. These guys now building more turrets, because, let's be honest, he needs them. Which is fun. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's speed that up quickly. Nothing really happens. Just let Mark build these up. Only for me to knock them down again. Which is fun. So I'm like, oh, you got missile turrets. That's cool. Now has a few more SUVs. There you go. Yamato cannon, one of them. Bye-bye. All that, those 75 minerals gone. And bye-bye. There goes another one. 2 more battle cruisers on the way. And, you know, he's not got a bad army here. He can defend what I've got. But decides to just bring everything in and just push forwards and just basically wreck his base. Going for the SCVs primarily. I want to get rid of them. And we see, you know, 2 more battle cruisers coming. We see not moving his army. This is a mistake. Your base is under attack. Move your army. Oh, Mark. There we go. Now they're coming along. Thing is, at this point, I'm so far ahead that I just have to keep building battle cruisers. There's not really much you can do against that many battle cruisers. Now I lost the raid. Oh, look. Bye-bye. Dead. Go see Goliaths. Let's shoot your Marines now. They look pretty dead. And, yeah. That was it. He had a few dudes left, but quite frankly, these money spent on tanks. He didn't need this many tanks. He must have realised at some point. And there's more battle cruisers that show up. It's going to destroy the rest of your stuff. That's really the story of this game, was that even though he was building Goliaths, he was still building Marines. Money was spent on things like tanks. Now, maybe he was expecting some kind of attack. If I'd switched to tanks or something and then gone for a ground attack, that would have been fine. But he had no indication to see that. Obviously, during this period, I expanded twice, and that's basically what I did for the entire game, was just get very late game. Didn't really have an answer for these. He needed Wraiths, or Valkyries, or, you know, a lot more Goliaths. Unfortunately, went for the tanks, but still, it was a good game. I enjoyed playing that one. It was a lot of fun. It was fun watching how Mark's kind of adapted with the Marines, making sure he had a lot of Marines and a lot of Goliaths. What he could have done with was getting a starport and then getting a science facility to get a science vessel out. That would have made his life way more easier rather than just relying on the turrets and the scans, even though I think building the turrets where he did was a good idea. All in all, it was a fun game. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this. Please like and subscribe as always. We appreciate that. We've got a few more games on the way for you, so keep an eye out for those, and see you next video.